So wait, is this the season finale or are we going to get another episode? I need to do better. But we're here. It's at the end of like a lot that happened this season. We're at our, final 4. And it's kind of, I don't know. It's weird, right? And I kind of feel just a little bit bad for Jeanna. I feel like she made the situation for herself. But all the girls are so happy that they've made it to the end. They're just not happy that Jeanna is back, and it's very awkward in the house because they've all created like a really tight bond, and then there's Jeanna, who none of the girls want to be bothered with, and that sucks. Like, she's trying to act all tough, like, I'm going to be savage, I'm going to take them off one by one, but you really would want to celebrate how hard you work, and just a very memorable moment with people you've been through the journey with, and she is essentially going at it alone, and she's acting tough, but I don't feel like that's that was her ideal situation. I don't feel like she wanted that to be how she came back into the house. But listen, you created it, or you went along with a lot of the drama, so these girls don't want to be bothered by you. And to be quite honest with you, in this industry, relationships are everything. And if you're burning bridges everywhere you go, no matter how good you are, people are not going to want to work with you. Stay woke. Oh, yeah. Christiana didn't tell her mom that she was molested. I understand. It's very difficult. It took my mother a very long time before she was able to tell my grandmom, and she was good and grown with kids, okay? When that happened, it was very emotional, so I understand. I really, really do, and it's not something easy that you just say. However, and I get she was in the moment, but you told the world before you told your mom. And I'm just hoping that when the mom does find out, it's received in a good way, because it's, you know, a lot of parents don't want to get sprayed with some, you know, very confidential information, something very traumatic that happened to their child. At the same time, the rest of the world gets it, or even if we do, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just like, oh, your mom doesn't know. Ooh. I know that because Tata's back, challenges are, you know, extra and more difficult and more challenging. I get it, right? I feel like this challenge is ridiculous. It's too much to ask from girls who are barely working in the industry and barely have an idea about the modeling industry, to have them create a campaign over a product they just are familiar with. You're giving them an hour, not even to be familiar with the product, because they only can be familiar with the product for less than a few seconds, because they got to start building a campaign, then they have to style themselves, then they have to pick out the best photo for the whole campaign. I just feel like that's a lot. Normally models don't even get to be the face of a campaign, let alone run a campaign, until they're a good 10 or so years into their career. So to ask these models to just like create a campaign from Pantene while the Pantene people are standing there overseeing them, like watching their every move, this is just, they just want to get Shanice out. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know how she's going to do this, knowing good and well she has hair problems, knowing good and well that the girl don't work well under this kind of stress. I don't even see her making it out the campaign. Now, I hope she proves me wrong, but I'm just like, really? You want to give Shanice a campaign to run by herself? She just started figuring out how to control her reactions to things in a professional setting. Really? You want to give her a campaign? They gonna hear her say 2 words and be like, this is not gonna work. So I don't know. I just feel like it's made to really knock out strong contenders, because this is the thing. You're not gonna know how to do that. You know how many years of marketing, like just not even schooling, but training you have to go through to even figure out how to do something like that? That's just a lot. And I don't know. It seems unfair. You see, Shanice got a black hairstylist on this campaign. They ain't want no more foolishness from that paper magazine photo shoot. They listening. So you know what? I think she might have a good shot. Because Because if she got a sister doing her hair, her confidence level got to be out the roof now that she don't got to tangle that mess herself. So just as I thought, trash. The ladies are struggling with this, you know, creating a whole campaign, something they've never done before. They're struggling with the pictures. They're bringing all these props because they just don't know what to do. To be honest with you, I would have liked to have just seen them just with the product and that's it. They didn't need, like, everybody was using props. Like, Jeanna had a huge rose volume. I don't know, it just didn't make any sense to me. Christiana had a huge clock. Shanice had every Party City prop she could find. Kyla, to me, had the more sensible props. Who else was there? Yeah, everybody else, I don't know. Kyla was the only one that made sense to me. But then she doesn't even like what she was able to pick. So I don't know who's going home. At first I thought it was Shanice because we keep on getting these shots of the Pantene people being like, of course you don't like Shanice. She ain't the brand. I get it. To be honest, white people, we don't really do Pantene. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're trying to market to us, but the products just aren't there yet. You know, you're competing against Miss Jessie's and, you know, there's just so many other natural hair products or just black hair products that we already are using. And one thing I know about black people, when we find something that works, we don't stray. We don't stray, especially with black women. We are, with our hair products, we're the same with our men. We don't stray away from hair products or black men. Both are problems. Both! Oh, they were all a mess, so they didn't even go off the campaign. They just picked somebody who had the best energy, and it was, of course, Christiana. She wins, and she picks Kyla to go on this, whatever Pantene thing they had. But it makes sense. Like, they all did not poorly, but come on, it was so much for them to think about and do when they've had no experience in it and very minimal training. And if they're watching, like, minimal training in the sense of it's happening to them and these things are happening on set, but who's really thinking about an entire campaign when you're trying to get a good shot to stay in a competition? I don't know, this felt like a throwaway challenge for me, and I think that it was just put in there so that one of the advertisers for the show could get a commercial. You know what? This show keeps me crying. But when Christiana and Kyla's mom walked through that door and just their faces, especially Christiana, oh, I was just, my heart, because Christiana really needs that. And especially, I think this might be the time where she tells her mom what happened to her. Because this is the thing, like before I was saying, I was just like, I don't think your mom should find out, or I wouldn't want to find out with the rest of the world. So I'm hoping that she tells her mom that, you know, this happened. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like your parents shouldn't find out on TV, something like that. I don't know. I hope she tells her. I really, really do. And how tall is Kyla's father? Because her mother is very short. Oh my gosh. Is her dad like an NBA player? You know, her mom looked like the type to snag an NBA player back in the day. You know what I mean? Is her daddy Wilt Chamberlain? So Christiana, oh, just watched it. Ciao. So Christiana tells her mom, and her mother's reaction, and then they did like an interview with her afterwards, and she was like, it's hard for me to talk, I can't talk, like she just told me, and then Christiana gives her like speech to become America's Next Top Model, and I'm here for it. Like, I'm totally behind Christiana, because she's just like, this would be a great platform for me to talk about it. And I don't know, I feel like in the wake of Me Too and, you know, just women really speaking up and using their voices and talking about the horrors that they have endured in the entertainment industry and the modeling industry and any workforce that women are in, we are harassed, we're abused, you know, there are so many things that happen to women from childhood all the way up to adulthood, and a lot of horrific things have been normalized, and a lot of women are starting to break out of that shame and speak on it. And I do feel like for this season, for right now, the time that we are in, Christiana is that girl that should be in America's Next Top Model. I get Shanice, I get Jeanna, but Christiana is the forerunner for me, because I just feel like she is very current, very now for the season that we are in. And I think she would be a very great, you know, a very great spokesmodel or person to take on this title and really use it for good for what's happening right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can see her at conferences, and I can see her on, you know, televisions and interviews, and really, you know, taking this top model platform to another level concerning what she has endured. And then also being a 32-year-old woman breaking into the modeling industry, you know, being older, being someone who was molested, being someone who is from a different culture, really trying to fit into the society. She just has a lot. She has a lot. Being someone who is thicker, you know, she checks a lot of boxes. Business-wise, she's the best choice, in my opinion. So now we have they're doing another photo shoot for Pantene, and then Drew says it, like I told you. He said this photo shoot is really critical because Pantene is one of the biggest advertisers for America's Next Top Model. That's what that whole campaign and all that stuff was. This episode is just a commercial for one of their big advertisers. It's just business. Anyway, they're doing the photo shoots, and Christiana, I'm telling you, I think she's gonna win. I really, really do. Her pictures, just when they first started, I was like, work, girl, sell the hair product. I don't even use Pantene, but I'm about to, because she's selling it to me, and we don't even got the same type of hair texture. That's the model. And then Jeanna, like, comes over to Christiana while she's doing her photo shoot and starts to, like, model next to her right in front. She's Jeanna, you're not going to win, honey. You're not going to win like that. This is a very, like, cookie cutter show. And the way you're going about taking this crown, it's just not going to happen. It's not. This is a show that is about women empowerment. They cannot have somebody who has been terrible to the women on this show be the winner. So I think this is just her villain edit, and she's going to continue to have this edit until she gets cut. I think it's going to come down to her and Shanice if this is the season finale, and I think it's either going to be maybe Shanice will go, and then at the end it'll be Christiana, but I don't for one second think that Jeanna is going home the winner of America's Next Top Model. Not with this edit. Not with this edit. And she's giving them sound bites. I don't know if they're feeding it to her or this is just what she's saying. Whatever it is, this villain edit that she is getting lets me know that she is not winning this competition. I don't know what my family is doing out there. Forgive me if you hear like a vacuum cleaner or like a laser. I don't know what they're doing out there. Anyway, Shanice, her photo shoot, it seemed like it was starting off very well because listen, a woman's hair is her glory for a lot of us, especially a sister, okay? And when I saw that she had a black hairstylist, I knew that she was going to get a nice look, and she actually really enjoyed her look, but it seemed like she was not doing too well. And I don't know if that's editing trying to throw us off and maybe think that she's going to go and then somebody else goes. I don't know, but she seemed to be struggling. And it seems like that Pantene lady is just not here for her. She's just like, I don't, if she could pick, it wouldn't be Shanice. That's all I'm gonna say. So Jeanna goes, and it's like, oh girl, this is not Playboy, this is Pantene. She like licking her teeth and stuff, and all of that stuff, and the Pantene lady is like, what is she selling? It's all about the hair. I will say this, she looks great. I love the outfit that she has on, and that wig, oh yes baby, that's a good wig. Keep that one, Jeanna. That's a good wig, girl. I really hope that next season, and I don't know if she brought this in, but I do hope that next season, whoever was styling Rita Ora does Tyra. Maybe, can you hire Law? Like, I just feel like Tyra is wearing all of these Marshalls, and no shade to Marshalls. I shop there, but I don't got Tyra Banks's money, right? I feel like Rita Ora, she didn't have the personality, but those outfits that she would wear every episode, gagging. And every time I see Tyra in something, it just gives me TJ Maxx on Easter. It never really correlates with who I and who the viewers, who the fans think and know that she is. Like, you're an Uber model. We want you to, I don't know, I feel like you're an Uber model and you're on this show because of the career that you have had. I want the fashions to show it, and I just don't see it. And the fashions, the makeup, or the hair, I just really feel like hopefully next season she steps it up. I do think that being the businesswoman that she is, I think she cut her budget a bit. And maybe I could be wrong with that, and maybe this is just what she wanted to do. But I need her to serve it next season, because this is dreadful. Judging panel, Shanice goes first. I actually liked her picture. A lot of people didn't. Law did, and that's all that counts. I'm joking. But I've grown to love Law this season. I really, really have. I think I fell in love with him after I found out that he was the one behind Celine Dion's ultimate transformation. I was just like, and then Zendaya, like the dude is bad, right? Like bad. Anyway, I actually did like her picture, and I agree with his critique. Like, this is something that we see in hair stores. Like, for me, I felt like she was selling a hair product. That is something I would look at, because I will look at her curls. I would look at if, you know, you're selling moisture. I want to see how moisturized and defined her curls are. So that was something that I really agreed with Law on, that I thought it was a good picture. I do agree with Ashley. I wish her chin was down. And I wish there was another, it was a good shot for hair. I just wish there were others, you know what I mean? But she did a lot better than what I thought she was going to do. So I forgot to mention that Philip Fine is on the judging panel because the final challenge will be his fashion show. And I think the women also get to, like, aside from the $100,000, they also get to wear his garments. And I love what he does. Although there's been some controversy, I still like a few of the things that I've seen. Anyway, Jeanna's goes, and her picture, gorgeous picture. It was just too sexy for the brand. Everybody agreed that the picture was good, but too sexy for the brand, except for Philip, who sells sex. And if you've seen any of his campaigns, he loves sex, okay? He disagreed, and I think she is somebody that he would want to walk in the show. But at the end of the day, I think they all have to agree, so I don't know. So I feel like in the bottom is going to be Jeanna and Shanice, and I think because Shanice probably got a better critique, she may go, but who knows? I think she may stay, Shanice may stay, and Jeanna may go. I'm not sure. But Jeanna's picture just did not work for the brand. I didn't know what I would have never clocked in on her hair and that it was for a hair commercial or a hair brand. There were so many other things going on. It felt very sensual. It didn't feel hair care to me. So Kyla goes. They liked her picture. I didn't. I thought her hair was perfect for the Pantene brand. I think Kyla has to figure out how to model her features. She has a wide nose, a big upper lip, a small bottom lip, but put them together, it's like a perfect, like, large pout, stuff that people, you know, go to the doctor for. She naturally has. She also has a chin that reads huge in certain angles, but then she comes down, it's very soft and dainty. But when she does it like this, it's very, like, it comes off very, like, buff Squidward, you know what I mean? And then, like, certain angles, her nose catches shadows, and it changes how her face is proportioned. And she just really, I feel like she needs to learn how to work that, because I think the way she was posing, her chin and her nose was casting shadows that made her features seem very slanted. And I was just focusing on, like, her face that looked like it was melting. You know what I mean? Like, just the picture, I was just like, the hair was great. I loved her makeup, was very fresh. I loved her eyebrows. They were snatched. From here down, it was just very disproportionate, like something was pushed down, and it was just the shadows. It was just the shadows of her features that she doesn't know how to model them. And that's the thing. People who have a wide nose, a big jaw, big, beautiful, pouty lip, all beautiful. Hey, I'm talking about me, right? You have to learn how to pose those things. Like, one thing for me is I have very, my eyes are very, like, small almond eyes, right? So I had to learn, like, when I'm taking pictures, if I'm smiling, like, you know, you lose my eyes. So I had to learn to keep my eyes open. I had to really learn how to model my chin, because my chin, you can't see right now because I'm fat, but my chin is very, it's a big chin, and it's very sharp. So I have to really learn how to, like, pose in certain pictures. Or like Kyla, I'll look like my features are slanted. Same thing with my nose. I don't contour, because I just don't, it changes everything. So I just put on some highlight and I go, you know what I mean? Because it just changes my whole face. So I really have to be mindful of those things and how I pose in certain pictures and my angles when I'm on camera, because I know my features, because they are so unique and they have size to them, they can read differently. So I think that if she learns that, she'll be fine. She just really has to learn how her features cast shadows that changes the proportion of her face. But I thought her picture was okay. I didn't really like it, but I think she's safe. Christiana had the best photo in my opinion, and it's not because I'm standing her on this season. I loved it. I don't know. I'm just thinking about when I'm flipping through like Vogue. You see that Pantene commercial, that Pantene ad. That looks like an ad that I would see in Pantene with like a little Christiana running and her hair in the wind. You know how they have like that big photo of the woman in the middle and then like little versions of her like throughout, you know, just running in different places on like the same ad. That looked like a Pantene ad to me. That Christiana's photo looked like a Pantene ad. Shanice's photo looked like a Motions ad, you know, black hair care ad. Miss Jessie's definitely. I don't know what Jeanna was selling. I really don't know. It looked like a Skechers ad, to be honest. Jeanna's ad looked like a Skechers ad. It did not look like Pantene at all. And Kyla looked like Claire's. I didn't. Christiana and Shanice to me were the only ones who I felt like were in the hair care area, like hair brand area. Everybody else I felt like kind of missed the mark. The judges are deliberated. The only reason why I wanted to talk about this is because Christiana is clearly the top model, or like clearly did very well, but Philip does not want her in his show because of her size, and he doesn't know how to say that. He can't say it to Ashley. He can't say it to Tyra. He definitely can't say it to Law or even Drew. So he doesn't know how to say it. So he's just like, I don't think that she's the top model. But everybody else, every other model, he mentioned their body. Every other model, he never mentioned Christiana's body. He just said that she didn't have the look, and that to me transferred as I don't have anything to dress her, and I don't want to dress anybody that size, because he kept on mentioning how skinny Shanice was, how skinny Jeanna was, how skinny Kyla was. Like, he loved all the skinny girls. When it came to Christiana, he was not pleased. He tried to find something. He liked her picture. He did not want her in his show, and I felt like Tyra could pick it up, but he's her guest, so she doesn't want to say anything. But I wish she would have read him in that moment, because we all could see it. Like, we all could see that he was just like, I don't like her look. All of a sudden, you don't like her look because you don't want her wearing your clothes. That shamer. Y'all, I thought that Jeanna was going to stay, but this is kind of when I knew that she was going to go home. Like, I thought she was going to stay, but then Tyra said something, and I was just like, oh, because listen, I knew Kyla was going to win or get like best photo because they were like gagging over her photo. I knew Christiana was going to go because everybody but Philip liked her. I knew it was going to be down to Jeanna and Shanice, and I was just like, no, Shanice is going to go, because although Philip likes her body and he likes her look, her picture, Jeanna had a stronger picture. Like, if Jeanna just would have removed that sex, she would have probably had the best photo of the day. So I don't know, I just felt like Jeanna in a certain sense was a stronger model. She just has more experience, right? But then Tyra said, we wonder if you can take direction and give our client what they're asking for. And if you remember earlier, Drew mentioned that Pantene was a huge advertiser for the show. So if that Pantene lady had anything to do with the decision being made, then Jeanna was definitely going, because even Tyra mentioned that she just did not like anything that she was doing. But I still thought that Jeanna was going to be in the final three. Wow. For her to go home to her, Shanice took out Rio and Jeanna. Ego has been what? Checked. So Philip fought for the sex, and now we get Jeanna at the end. Listen, they brought him on. He had a decision. He had a decision, and he really liked her body. He really liked the sex. I thought that he was kind of out with Jeanna because of her height, but I do think that he preferred her over Christiana. Wow. Don't bring him back next season, Tyra. So this episode ends with all of the ladies making it to the final, and then Tyra says that they're going to be fitted by Philip and his team, and to be on their A game because they can get cut at any time. When she says that they're going to be fitted by Philip, flying in his team, I immediately get concerned for Christiana, because I personally felt like he was not a fan of her size, and I think, especially as a model, to be in a setting where they are not happy with your body and you have to showcase clothes and the designer is not on board with your look, I'm concerned for her. I really, really am. And I hope if this does go how I think it's going to go, they don't get in her head and get her off the competition. But I do think it But I do think in the end it will again be the final three that was picked before Jeanna was saved. And I do think Christiana is going to be the winner. I just feel like she is the best right now for America's Next Top Model brand. But I think Jeanna just keeps on getting saved because just sex sells. You know, it is a part of modeling, but it's just, it's unfortunate because I was rooting for her, but her attitude changed the game for me. I do also want to say that this is the best Shanice has ever looked. I loved her hair. I loved her makeup. She looked like this was the first time for me, she looked like a model on the runway. Like at judging, this was the first time I've ever seen Shanice look like a model. And I also feel like when they did like a throwback of her working in some shoe store, she had like this jet black hair, straight hair. I feel like that's her best look. And I kind of wish that they would have given her that. Give her a wig. You gave Jeanna a wig. Give her a wig. Maybe something that she could really rock. Because I think that that's something where she feels confident in. This hair looks good on her, but I don't know if it's something that boosts her confidence to that level that she needs to actually slay in the end. So we'll see. We'll see if they keep it that way. Philip might do something different. I'm not sure, but this was the best she's ever looked. And at the end is the first time to me she's looked like a model at judging. So next week we get to find out that Christiana has won the competition. It's going to be like a lot of tears like it always is in the finale. A lot of girls are going to be broken down. I'm hoping that Philip is not terrible, but we will see. But I'll be there to watch it and review it. And if you like what you see here, please stop by next week and join me for the season finale of America's Next Top Model. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so we can build our little America's Next Top Model community. And I'll see you guys for the season finale. It's been fun, and I can't wait to get to the end with you guys. We've done a lot here. We've cried, we chatted, we've kikied, we've went through a lot with this show. It's taken us through a journey, and now it's coming to an end. See you then, guys. Bye.